आज ही डाउटनेट ऐप डाउनलोड करें। डाउटनेट पर होगा अब आपके सभी मैथ्स, केमिस्ट्री, फिजिक्स और बायोलॉजी डाउट्स का सफाया। बस अपने क्वेश्चन की फोटो खींचो, उसे क्रॉप करो और तुरंत वीडियो सोल्यूशन पाओ। डाउनलोड नाउ।
Hello everyone. So here we have a question. The area bounded by the curve y equals to sine inverse mod of sin x and y equals to sine inverse mod of sin x to the whole square, where x is belongs to 0 to 2 pi included. We have four options. We have to check which option is correct. So I'm going to solve this thing. First I'm writing this equation. So y equals to, now see carefully, sine inverse mod of sin x. When my x is in between 0 to pi by 2, then you can see clearly I will left with only x. Okay, I will left with only x. Okay, now from here I can say that when my x is in between pi by 2 to pi, okay, just try to put the value for pi here, or we can say any another value between the pi by 2 and pi, then I can say that this will become pi minus x. Okay, because sine inverse pi by 2 plus something will become pi minus x. Okay, and similarly if we have pi to x in between 3 pi by 2. Okay, so from here we can also see that this will also pi minus x, because we already know that sine, let me write this thing. Yes, so sine pi plus something in the sine inverse, it will be pi minus that angle. Okay, and from 3 pi by 2 to 2 pi will become less than equals to x greater than 2 pi, or we can say greater than equal to. Okay, so on this my function will become 2 pi minus x, because we already know that sine inverse sine of any angle 2 pi minus theta, or we can say 3 pi by 2 plus theta, it will be 2 pi minus theta. Okay, now moving forward, I'm going to write the second function with the same manner. So my y will be equals to from 0 to pi by 2. Now I'm going to write from pi by 2 to x. Now from pi to 3 pi by 2. Okay, and finally from 3 pi by 2 to my 2 pi. Okay, for these angles I can write my y as you can see here, there will be no a great change here, so it is basically square of this thing. So I'm writing the square of these things, so I'll get x square pi minus x square, here also pi minus x square, here it will be 2 pi minus x square, because they are the square of this thing. Okay, easy. Now I'm going to draw the graph for them. Okay, so basically I'm going to draw the graph. So yeah, let's suppose this is my axis. So this is my x-axis clearly, and this is my y-axis clearly. Now see carefully, here I'm going to make the graph for this. So if you check for the peak points, for 0 this is 0, for pi by 2 it will pi by 2. Okay, so I'm putting here, so it is 0. Let me write some angles. 0, pi by 2, here it should be pi, here it should be 3 pi by 2, here it should be 2 pi. Okay, now from 0 to pi there should be a single straight line, because we have x only. Now from you can see here, from pi by 2 to pi, at pi by 2 this is pi by 2. Okay, this completely equals to pi by 2. Now on pi it will be 0 again. Okay, so my next points are 0 to pi. Okay, so I'm matching them. So basically it will look like something this. Now let me draw the complete graph in the same manner. Okay, so this is the graph. Okay, so now I'm going to mark this point also. So this point should be pi by 2, because when we put in place of pi x pi by 2, then it will be sine inverse. Sine pi by 2 is 1 and sine inverse 1 is pi by 2. So that's why this should be pi by 2. Okay, now I'm making a single line to make you understand this thing. So it should be the line. Okay, something like that. Okay, and now this graph, this should be touches here. Okay, so don't confuse with something. Now I'm going to make the graph for this second function, and you can see it is x square and pi minus x square, pi minus x square. So it will the graph like parabola, and here the peak point should be pi square by 4. When we put pi by 2 over here, it will be pi square over 4. So this should be the point here, something pi square by 4, and on pi by 2 this is the point. Okay, so it should look like something this. Okay, so it should be like this. Okay, and in the same manner I'm going to draw the graph, so it should be something like that. Let me change the color, so it should be something like that. It is parabola. Okay, so yeah, it should look like this. Okay, and this should be the point, this should be the point. Okay, and this should be the point. Okay, and this is symmetric. Okay, uh, this should be symmetric. These area are equal. Okay, these four areas should be equal. Okay, and we have to find the area bounded by the complete curve, so we also have to find the this area. Okay, let me uh, color this. So yeah, we have to find this area also. So we can see here we have four parts here also. We have first this part, and this part, and this part. Okay, now this point, it is nothing but this is the intersecting point. That's why my y equals to sine inverse sine of x with the mod should be equals to my sine inverse sine x with the mod to the whole square. Okay, this should be equals to this. Okay, from here if you see, my x should be equals to x square. Okay, and x equals to x square is only possible, let me write this thing as, okay, and from here you can see that my x equals to 0 and x equals to 1 only. When we take x common, it will left with this, and this will happen. Okay, so this point should be 1. Okay, so I can say that it is 1 comma pi by 2 point. Okay, and 0 it is. Okay, now this point should be 1, and because these four areas are equal, that's why I can write the area finally. So my area, required area, is equals to integration 0 to 1. My upper graph is x only, this is the graph for x, minus lower graph, which is this x square. Okay, so it will be x minus x square dx, but 4 times. Why? Because I told you they are symmetrical, so 4 times. Okay, now plus we have to add this area also, the shaded area. So this is from 1 to this point, and this point is pi by 2, this point is pi by 2 comma pi by 2. Okay, so it upper graph is x square here and lower graph is x here, so I can write this thing as 1 to pi by 2 x square minus x dx. Now simply I'm going to integrate this thing and I will get my final answer. So my area will be equals to, and this should be 4 times. Okay, don't confuse, because we have 4 lobes here, or we can say 4 shaded area. Okay, symmetrical, that's why. So it will be 4, and 4 I'm taking common, and I'm integrating this thing. So I'm integrating this thing by using this formula, integration of x raised to the power n dx will be equals to x raised to the power n plus 1 over n plus 1. I'm using this thing, hope you already know. So it will be x square over 2 minus x cube over 3 plus sorry, the limit 0 to 1 plus this 4 and it will be x cube over 3 minus x square over 2. Here it will be 1 to pi by 2. Okay, and finally I'm putting the limit, which is upper limit minus lower limit. So my area will be equals to 4 times, on putting 1 it will be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3, on putting 0 it will completely 0, plus 4 times it will be pi cube by 8, and 8 times 3 is 24, minus pi square by uh, pi square by 4 times 2 is 8, minus the lower limit, on putting 1 it will be 1 by 3, and it will be plus 1 by 2. Okay, now finally I'm going to simplify this thing. So I can say that my area will be equals to, I can take 4 completely common, and it will be 1 by 2, on taking LCM it will be 6, and it will 3 minus 2, plus it will pi cube by 24 minus pi square by 8, minus on taking LCM it will be 6, and here it will be we can write this thing as 6 with the positive sign. I'm taking this here and this here. Okay, so don't confuse. It will be 3 minus 2 only, and on solving this completely I will get 1 by 6. 1 by 6 is, it is 2 by 6, or 2 by 6 I can write as my 1 by 3. Okay, so it will be 4 times, I'm writing this thing, area will be equals to 4 times 1 by 3 plus pi cube by 24 minus pi square by 8. So this square unit. So this should be the answer. Let's check the option. So we don't have that option. So that's why our option 4, none of this is correct. Thank you.
क्लास 6 से 12 से लेके नीट IIT JEE मेंस और एडवांस के लेवल तक 10 मिलियन से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का भरोसा। आज ही डाउनलोड करें डाउटनेट ऐप या व्हाट्सएप कीजिए अपने डाउट्स 8400 400 400 पर।